Seven. Okay, so now we got the X2s. This is interesting stuff. All right, 7th place, Darian Simmons. And in 8th place, Dylan Giancola.
What? Yes! Yes! I did it! I did it! You won't stop! I did it! Leo! Come here, buddy! I did it! I did it!
This is my Shooting Quasar Dragon deck profile 2020. This is the deck that I used to top at the Central Canadian Regionals in Winnipeg and get my invite to Nationals to qualify for Worlds. So, I'm sure you're excited to see the deck list. So, looks like it's showtime. So first, we have our 12 combo starters, 3 copies of Soul Leading Overraptor, 3 copies of Fossil Dig, 3 copies of Mathematician, and 3 copies of Draconet. So, any one of these cards, not any combination of these cards, just any one of these cards is the combo. Seeing as we run 12 in a 40 card deck, your odds of opening with a combo starter are very, very good. If you're wondering how to do the combo, we'll go over that in depth later on in the video. Next we have our normal Dragon Tuners, Flameville Guard and Galaxy Serpent. 1 copy of World Legacy Guard Dragon. Next is our Garnets, 2 copies of Carboneddin, and 2 copies of World Chalice Guard Dragon. So, yes, it's 2 copies of 2 Garnets, I understand, but since we need both of these in the deck simultaneously for the combo to work, we run 2 just to minimize our odds of bricking and being unable to do the combo, especially since we need this to win. Next, our one-offs, Omni Dragon Brotar, Rescue Ferret, Doppel Warrior, Glow Up Bulb, Blackwing Steam the Cloak, and Jet Synchron. So those are some of our one-offs. Next is something that you might not expect to see in a Quasar deck, but these cards really help make the board that much bigger, that much scarier, and give the deck just that much more power. 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, 1 copy of Double Evolution Pill, and 1 copy of Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. So, he's here because we send quite a few dinosaurs to the grave, so we have an easy time making him. He provides the board with so much more interactions that just can help stop a person's turn dead. This card, obviously, to make it like we're running 3 of these, even though we're really just running 2. And BLS, like, he can provide some pretty good interactions going second, such as being able to attack twice, banishing one of your opponent's monsters, really nice. And even going first, he does provide an additional body on the board, which is nice as well. But make no mistake, he's primarily here for the flex of having 6 boss monsters on board at once, and because I like him. And this deck is primarily just what I like. You could also probably run like Chaos Dragon, Levianeer 2, or whatever. It doesn't have to be BLS. Then we get into our control cards with Imperial Order, 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance, and 2 Different Dimension Grounds. So you're going to be drawing a lot with this deck. By a lot, I mean you draw 11 cards, technically 8 because you're putting 3 on the bottom. But the fact of the matter is you are seeing 11 of your cards. So you're bound to run into some of these guys, right? Fill up your back row, then during your opponent's standby phase or whatever, flip them over, basically tell them they can't play the game. And this just really puts the board over the top as a near indestructible force. Next is 3 Called by the Grave. We run these because since the combo is very long and intricate, 1 negate or interruption or whatever stops the combo dead. So the beauty and the art of playing Quasar is getting around all of your opponent's negates and interactions and whatnot, so you can get out of the gate, get your board, and then you get rewarded with a board where you don't really have to think. This next card I was debating between this card and a different card to put in the main deck. So 3 copies of Twin Twisters. Winnipeg is a little bit more of a control area, so I put the Twin Twisters in thinking I'd be running into primarily control decks and Mystic Mind. I didn't see Mystic Mind once, but I did play a few control decks, so it did come in handy sometimes. But I probably, if I knew what I was playing, probably would have sided in the other card I was thinking of over it, or sorry, main decked the other card I was thinking of over it. But I don't regret my choice of Twin Twisters at all. Next is 3 copies of Red Reboot. This is great for back row decks, Salmon Great, whatever. 3 copies of Hey Trunade. So I'd actually ordered a playset of Nibiru, but it didn't come in time for regionals. In fact, it still isn't even here. So I put in Hey Trunade because it kind of combos nicely with Red Reboot, and then with Twin Twisters you can have like 9 cards for back row. And Hey Trunade came in handy quite a few times, so I'm really happy that I put it in. 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More. This was the card that I was thinking of main decking other than Twin Twisters, just because it helps a lot going second, and this one card can just get rid of anything, or sorry, can get rid of everything that they would have had to have been able to stop you. So yeah, I probably would have main decked this over Twin Twisters, but again, I don't regret my decision. 3 copies of Prohibition. This is like the greatest tech card ever. You play your 4 summons. Right before the 5th, you slap down Prohibition, declare Nibiru the Primal Being, and people get pissed. They throw their hands down. I've had people scoop and just leave the table. Just imagine you get to game 3, you got Nibiru in hand, you think you're going to win. I drop down the Prohibition before the 5th summon, just because I can, and now you've got nothing to stop me. And yeah, when people get really salty and storm from the table, which has actually happened to me, it is hilarious. But it can also be used for other things, such as if I'm going first game 2 or game 3 and I know what they're playing, sometimes I'll side in the Prohibition to be as part of my back row to preemptively stop one of their key cards, like Engage or something, and make it even harder for them to try to play through my board. Even sometimes going second, it can help. In fact, going second, this card helped win me my last game and my last match to top regionals. So, great tech. And then 3 copies of Artifact Lancia, primarily for Orchist, which is pretty much just Orchist Sky Striker at this point, but primarily for Orchist, but you can use it for stuff like Thunder Dragons, if someone decides to bring, Silver Rocket Dragon or something, but it's primarily for Orchist. Next, the part you've probably been waiting for the most, the extra deck. So, 1 Shooting Quasar Dragon, 1 Cosmic Blazar Dragon, and 1 Saryuja's Skull Dread. So, at the end of the combo, before you play the 10 cards from your hand that you're going to be getting, because this combo is a +9, this is how your board ends before you, again, use the cards in your hand. Sure, it's 1 shy of Triple Quasar Dragon, but I have never once seen a good Triple Quasar Dragon deck, because they usually just use way too many resources and end with like no cards in hand, no back or whatever. It's just 3 Omni-Negates, which is good, just not good enough for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Because the game's just so fast. Ib, the World Chalice Justicer, Reproducus, Mrs. Radiant, Guard Dragon Pisty, Guard Dragon Elpie, Excel Synchron, TG Hyper Librarian, Celestial Double Star Shaman, 2 copies of Assault Blackwing, So High at the Rainstorm, Assault Blackwing, Sailor Rain Hider, and Formula Synchron. All of the cards in your main deck go into this combo. By the end of the combo, you will have no cards left in your extra deck. Yeah, it takes up all the cards in your extra deck to do this combo. And I'm just very proud of this deck, especially because this going first deck I won with consistently going second as well. Out of the 7 rounds at the regionals, I won the die roll once, maybe twice. Might have been twice. Definitely no more than 2 times. But it was either once or twice I won the die roll. And I still managed to top with Shooting Quasar Dragon. So I'm very proud of what I was able to do with the deck. There will be some changes come Master Rule 5Ds. Not as much as you'd think there would be, but the deck will get more protection thanks to the rule change, and it'll get even more draw power thanks to not only the rule change, but a certain card coming at the end of the month. We will go over the changes made to the deck, so subscribe or hit the bell, whatever you need to do to stay notified to see that, because it should be coming out next month. As for now, let's head to the combo portion of the video. Here is the main event of the video, the combo portion. So there's no freestyling or any real variance. The only slight differences will be at the beginning, depending on what combo piece you get, which we'll go through right now. So we open Fossil Dig, which will let us search for our Soul Eating Overraptor. There he is. Bring to our hand. Normal summon him. Activate its effect to send Carboneddin from the deck to the grave. You do the same thing if you start with Mathematician. If you start with Draconet, you would just spec Galaxy Serpent from your hand or deck. Carboneddin banishes itself to spec your normal Dragon Tuner from your hand or deck to the field. So in this case, because we have Soul Eating Overraptor, we'll spec Flameville Guard. And if it was Mathematician, then we would have spec'd Galaxy Serpent. So that's the only variation in the combo. Everything else is the same. So we tune those together. For Ib, the World Chalice Justicer, use its effect to bring from deck to hand World Legacy Guard Dragon. Activate it from hand to spec our normal Dragon Tuner. Link them together for Reaptocus. Ib's effect in Grave activates, which will allow us to spec from our deck our, there we go, World Chalice Guard Dragon. Use his effect to make him Earth. Now, because they're both Earth, we can link them together for Mrs. Radiant. World Chalice Guard Dragon's effect activates, banishing itself to spec our normal Dragon Tuner, which we will then link off into Guard Dragon Pisty. Activate World Legacy Guard Dragon's other effect to move Pisty over to the space, so now they're both pointing here. Pisty's effect to spec our normal Dragon Tuner, link off into Elpie, and because they both point here, we can use Elpie's effect to spec from our deck or hand Omni Dragon Brotar. Brotar's effect, discarding a card from your hand, preferably a dinosaur, just so we can stock resources in grave for Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, targeting Mrs. Radiant, an Earth Beast Monster, so we can bring from deck to hand an Earth Beast Monster. In this case, we're going to want Rescue Ferret. This is the point where we're going to have to shuffle now. And if we had an opponent, we would give it our deck to them to cut, but we don't, so we'll just cut the deck ourselves. Then, link off into our 4-piece So you just Scaldron and use this effect to draw 4 cards and place 3 on the bottom. Now at this point, if you have a Doppel Warrior, Glow Up Bulb, Blackwing Steam the Cloak, and or Jet Synchron, you're going to use this effect to place those cards on the bottom because they need to be in the deck for the next portion of the combo. This does mean, because we're only putting 3 back, that if you have all 4 of them in hand, you ought to lose because you just can't do the combo. But the chances of that happening are mathematically near impossible. It's never happened to me. It'll probably never happen to you. And thanks to Saryuja, we can just run one copy of each instead of two, which would clutter the deck. Saryuja's effect, to spec Rescue Ferret from hand. Rescue Ferret's effect, placing himself back in the deck so we can spec Doppel Warrior, Glow Up Bulb, and Blackwing Steam the Cloak. Tune Blackwing Steam the Cloak and Doppel Warrior together to Synchro Summon Excel Synchron. Then, because Doppel Warrior was used, we get 2 Doppel tokens, and because Blackwing Steam the Cloak was used, we get a Blackwing token, all of which are level 1. Excel Synchron's effect, to send Jet Synchron to the grave, and lowers level by 1. And now, since we're going to be drawing 7 cards, we're going to shuffle and then cut the deck again. We're going to Excel Synchron with our token, which, yes, you can use tokens for synchro summoning. Some people just apparently don't know that. For Teachy Hyper Librarian. Tune Glow Up Bulb and our token together for Celestial Double Star Shaman. Now, because of Teachy Hyper Librarian's effect, we get to draw a card. And because of Celestial Double Star Shaman's effect, we get a special summon Doppel Warrior in defense. As you saw, I drew Fossil Dig. I like to activate Fossil Dig if I know I still have some dinosaurs in my deck, just to kind of thin it out and hopefully give me a bit of a better chance at drawing what I want. Tune Celestial Double Star Shaman, Doppel Warrior, and your token for your first Assault Blackwing, so hide the Rainstorm. Because Doppel Warrior was used, you're going to get 2 Doppel tokens, and thanks to TG Hyper Librarian, you're going to draw another card. Mill the top card of your deck to special summon through its effect Glow Up Bulb. Tune Glow Up Bulb and your token to synchro summon Assault Blackwing, Sail the Rain Hider, draw a card. In a tribute, this token to special summon Blackwing Steam the Cloak through its own effect, and then tune them together for Assault Blackwing, so hide the Rainstorm. Now here's a bit of a long chain. So he's now a tuner, because he's made with Assault Blackwing monster. He also special summons Assault Blackwing, Sail the Rain Hider, because Blackwing Steam the Cloak was used. You get a Blackwing token, and thanks to TG Hyper Librarian, you get to draw another card. Tune these 3 together to Synchro Shogun Shooting Quasar Dragon, and draw another card. Banish 1 Assault Blackwing, so hide the Rainstorm, to spec your second Assault Blackwing, so hide the Rainstorm. Then discard a card, preferably a dinosaur card, to spec through its own effect Jet Synchron. Tune Jet Synchron with your token. Jet Synchron is banished, by the way, because it was brought back with its own effect. Formula Synchron. Draw 1 card because of Formula Synchron's effect. Draw a second card because of TG Hyper Librarian's effect. Then tune these 3 together for Cosmic Blazar Dragon. Now at the end of the combo, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards in hand. That's right, this is a +9. So then, we look through other plays to make. So, we have an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno in hand. So, we banish 1 dinosaur, and of course, we banish a second dinosaur to special summon our Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. But what's this? We have a second Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Well then, let's banish 1 dinosaur and banish a second dinosaur for our second Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. What's this? Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. Well, banish 1 dark, banish 1 light to special summon your Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning. Then, let's look for some back row plays. And what's this? Imperial Order, Anti-Spell Fragrance, 2 different Dimension Grounds. That's full back row. Pretty devastating back row too. And 3 monster cards in hand, which is great because since Ultimate Tyranno is a soft once per turn, and its effect to flip all of your opponent's monsters into face-down defense position costs you to destroy one monster card from either your hand or on the field. So having 3 in hand is great for him. So this is a pretty devastating board. And I would be lying if I said you would always end up with 6 monsters in full back row. But honestly, it gets pretty close. On average, you end up with about 5 boss monsters and about 3 cards in back row. Actually, it's kind of between 3 and 4 because not only do I have the traps, but I also have, if I don't say get the different Dimension Grounds, sometimes I get the Called by the Grave, which kind of does a similar thing to different Dimension Ground in terms of what I want it to do, which is to stop people from using effects in Grave, essentially. So yeah, usually it's like 5 boss monsters and then 3 back row or 4 back row. But this board here, with all 5 boss monsters in full back row, is not uncommon. This is not uncommon at all. Probably get it maybe like 25-30% of the time, something like that. Yeah. So that's the combo. This is the sort of potential that this deck has. Maybe now you can see why I was able to top regionals with this rogue deck. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you give it a shot. Maybe even throw in some of your own twists and whatnot. Also, because Master Rule 5Ds is coming soon, the combo does change a little bit, not nearly as much as you think. And no, the combo does not use Needle Fiber. In fact, Needle Fiber slows this combo down. That's right. Needle Fiber slows this combo down come Master Rule 5Ds, even though it does change a bit. So if you want to see the changes that I'm going to be making to this combo come Master Rule 5Ds, subscribe, maybe hit the bell or whatever, just keep notified, just so that way when it comes out, you get it right away, so you're ahead of the loop. And if you're gonna do this combo, gonna do this deck, whatever, you got it right away, and you can see it probably next month, because the last key card for the combo comes out at the end of this month. So again, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever you need to do to stay notified, so you can be updated as soon as we drop the new combo video with the new deck list. Thank you very much for watching.